everybody, my name's Caitlin, and this is Victoria Hubbard, and she is a past trainee with the program on proofreadanywhere.com and on Udemy, and she is going to be sharing with us her experiences and how she fared going through the training and her recommendations and warnings and whatnot about going through the training to proofread transcripts for court reporter. So how are you today, Victoria?
I am awesome, Caitlin. Thanks.
So I have some questions for you, and it's just to share with the people that are considering maybe doing the training with me, or whether it's through the website or through Udemy, and just kind of tossing up the different pros and cons, and so I'm just going to ask you all about that. So when did you actually start proofreading transcripts?
I think I got my first transcripts in October of 2014.
Cool. And so what made you decide to learn how to proofread transcripts?
I had been looking for something for a very long time, just something that I could do remotely, independently of an office, set my own hours. That was kind of right in right up my alley. And proofreading, when I met you, I was so intrigued by what you said, and so when you talked about this proofreading thing that you could do just with email, completely remote, you set your hours, and even, you still only work just part-time, which I love, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the holy grail, and is kind of right in my powerhouse. I've always been into grammar, and I've had a really strong background in, editing other people's stuff throughout the years, just on a non-professional basis. So, I was super excited to find you, hear what you did, and then hear from you how you did it.
Great. And so going through the training, what would you say was the most challenging part in getting started?
The most challenging part, well, there were a couple of things. It was tough to actually understand, proofreading is slightly different from just editing, where you're looking for bad grammar, bad sentence construct. Proofreading is a little bit more, it's easier and a little bit more difficult because you've got to go with how people talk, but you've also still got to make sure that the commas are where they need to be, the apostrophes are where they need to be, if something needs to be in quotes or capitalized or spacing or whatever. So you're reading less for comprehension and more for, just those little grammar things. And then, so that was difficult. It's kind of like a new way of looking at things. And then also difficult for me was just putting myself out there so that I could really get a sense of, what this was going to entail and making it into something that I could do, because I tend to be sometimes a little shy. And so putting yourself out there can be very tough, I think, the fear of rejection. But I did it, and I got some really good feedback right from the get-go, so that was really nice.
Cool. Yeah, proofreading transcripts is a lot different than proofreading a book or proofreading a magazine, and you can't change what people say, and that's what the court reporter is taking down. So yeah, I imagine just putting yourself in the shoes of the court reporter is a challenging part if you've never done it before.
Yes.
So definitely. And so what would you say were the most valuable thing or things that you learned during the training?
Probably the most valuable thing, honestly, was doing the trial transcripts. You sent those to me, and I went through and did them according to, just what I had experience with. And then getting them back from you so I could see your edits on top of mine, it was really kind of eye-opening as to, oh, this is what we're looking for. We're not necessarily looking for just, like I mentioned earlier, the sentence syntax or anything like that. Obviously, that's not what we're looking for. But we're looking for commas and spacing and, the little nitty-gritty things like that. So that was very eye-opening.
Cool. Anything else?
What was the question again? Remind me.
most valuable thing or things that you learned during training, like the best part about it, or maybe something that you weren't expecting.
Right. So there was definitely two parts to that answer. The transcript was great, getting your edits back on top of that, and then B, being able to contact you, being able to talk with you, get your input as far as like, I've got this reporter and they're doing this, or how do I handle this situation, or, stuff like that. So being able to be in contact with you was so helpful.
Well, good. I definitely like to be available for people who are learning because, I'm not just out there trying to get anybody and everybody to take my training and then I'm just this aloof, person. And so I want to be available because, this has been a life-changing thing for me too. And being able to share with people has just been another part of the dream that I never expected would come to fruition. So it's been really cool too to share with people. Yeah. So then my next question for you would be, how long did it take you to find your first client? And how many clients do you have now?
So I think we started talking in about September or so of 2014, kind of mid to late September. And then I did the training with you then. And then I put myself out there a little bit, checked out Facebook, checked out LinkedIn. I did the CSR Nation, or at least I looked there. And didn't really get much feedback at that point in time. So I got a little discouraged, but then, I was trying to think of different ways I could get clients and make my way into this profession. And then, about a month later, so I think I contacted you again, just being like, hey, I don't know where else to look, where can I try and whatnot. And, you were just really encouraging. And I basically ended up just trying all those things again. And, I, for whatever reason, I guess it was good timing or whatever, I got so many inquiries in October, and I probably had about 20 or 30 inquiries, and from that, I got, at that point, 3 full-time reporters who I still have with me today, and then, I've got some one-off work from that as well. Currently, today, I would say that I have 4 reporters that I'm their full-time proofreader, and then I've got 2 or 3 reporters that I'm kind of like their backup proofreader or their weekend proofreader, and then a couple others that I do work for maybe, 2 or 3 times a month. Wow,
that's great. That's really, really cool. Yeah, that's and you still work a full-time job in addition to that too, so that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. And so you can imagine just how quickly, once you do move to Ecuador, which I don't know if you guys know, but Victoria is moving to Ecuador for a year, just like my husband and I, and she's going to be going there in March of this year, 2015. For a year-long adventure, so that's really exciting. And she's taking that work with her, which is just awesome. And I'm so excited to see how that works for her. And that's exactly what I'll be doing too. And so that's just another perk of being able to proofread from an iPad. You just need your wireless internet connection, whether it's yours or somebody else's, and you can do your work and get paid online, and it's just really, really awesome. So, and your money goes so much further in South America. So, we'll be living large, right? No.
We'll be living as well as we need to be. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. Super duper excited.
Good. So for anybody that might be sitting on the fence thinking about signing up for taking the course, what advice would you give to them?
Do it. If you can go through the coursework, and whatever money you put out, if you are diligent and if you learn what you need to learn, be willing to keep on consistently learning, and then be willing to put yourself out there and get reporters to use you. I mean, you'll make back the money in a month, 2 months tops. I mean, I have made back every single penny that I've put into learning how to proofread, or the equipment for proofreading, an iPad. I've made that back tenfold at this point. And I've only been doing it full time for really 3 months. So, and I made it back within the first month.
Yeah, that's really, really good. Yeah, I think some people just think that it's either one or two things. People think they're going to make money immediately or they're going to not make money at all. And so just knowing that it's not a get rich quick, it's going to be, you got to work to do it. But when you do it, you can make really good money. I think the most that I've ever made was about $5,500 in 1 month. And that was probably closer to full-time than part-time. It was just a really busy month for me, but you just sit down and do it. And I don't work a regular job at this time. I teach some fitness classes, but if you get some referrals and you can get a revolving set of clients that they're not all busy at the same time, you can just do the work as it comes in, and you say no when you need to, but say yes when you can, and just buckle down and get it done. You can make some really, really nice money doing this, and it's fun. It's all in your own time, and it's really flexible. So that's really cool. So you'd say it's worth the money then, yeah?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you said, just if you can buckle down, you will make as much as you put into it. So, I mean, if you're only looking to make a little bit and you work 10 hours a week and, with 2-3 reporters or whatever, then you'll make a little bit. But if you want to make a lot, you can, like you said, if you work many, many hours during the week, you can make it a full-time job and you can make full-time money. So it all depends on what you're willing to put into it. So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I work about 20 to 25 hours a week right now, and I make double what I made at my full-time job. So, I mean, but that's what the course is designed to do, is to teach people how to become efficient, how to, scratch all the guesswork, I've just done all the legwork. And so that's what the course is for, is to try to just get people to be efficient as possible, as quickly as possible, to make money quicker and sooner without all like the stumbling blocks that I ran into when I was learning how to do it. So I've just kind of like put that all aside. So
it's definitely nice to have you there as a resource. If I have a question or if I'm curious about something, I know I don't have to go and either trial and error it myself, or I don't have to go searching the interwebs. I can just come and ask you because you've been there, you've done that, you've tried a million different ways, and I can pretty much guarantee that usually whatever you have to suggest is probably going to be the best suggestion.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. And I'm always on my computer too, so that kind of helps a lot. So, well, great. It's been really, really nice asking you these questions and just hearing from you and your experience and seeing how you've grown in the last 3 months doing this. And I'm really excited to see how it changes your life continually and stuff like that. I know you're excited too. And I thank you for taking the time to share with any potential students or any current students that might be either struggling or even considering starting out and doing the course. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.